Hey guys, it's Generalkidd here. How's everyone doing today? So for today's video, we got a really cool glitch to show you guys. But before we get into it, let me first explain to you what sword flying is, because apparently not everybody actually knows about it. So sword flying was an old glitch or trick from Halo 2 that involves the energy sword and lets you fly great distances with it. It's a little tricky to explain, but it's not too difficult of a glitch. But as you can see right here in this footage, it does let you fly incredible distances with it, and it was a really famous trick from way back in the day. So what does this have to do with Halo 4 now? Because this is a Halo 4 video. Well, about a week ago I did a video comparing to see which Halo game has the best gravity hammer. In that video, when I did the Halo 4 hammer, I had a really weird melee that you see here. It's the exact same footage. It's a really weird lunge that extends itself and then like flies towards the enemy. I thought that was a feature of the Halo 4 hammer at first, but as it turns out, it's not. In fact, people actually pointed out to me like they're like they never saw that animation before. Like, it's crazy, and it's definitely not a feature, and it's probably a bug. So I decided to investigate further, and as it turns out, we actually stumbled upon the Halo 4 equivalent of Halo 2 sword flying. It's not exactly like Halo 2 sword flying. It has quite a few differences, but it's definitely pretty similar to it. Now, we set it up in Forge here to make it easier to do, to reproduce, but you don't need to do it like we did. You could do it any other way. But the way this works is I have one player like constantly jumping a teleporter while I try to like lunge at them in a barrier to block me from going into the teleporter. But the trick is you want to like lunge at them at the very last second, and then it'll cause you to have that extended sword animation, and you just fly towards your target no matter where they go. But it's a bit tricky to do though, and if you do it right, you'll go a pretty decent distance. Nowhere near as far as like Halo 2, but as you can see here, when I finally get it, it actually sends me like a distance about like maybe 4 to 5 times the lunge range of the energy sword normally. It's a fraction of the distance of what's possible with Halo 2's sword flying, but at the very least, it's somewhat possible in Halo 4 now. And, you know, I never thought like anything like that would ever be possible, but it is doable. So this is what it looks like in third person. And you can see, like, you go a fair distance, actually. And you can probably go even further, too. I've tried, like, longer ranges, and I can go a little further. But if you move the teleporter, the receiver teleporter too far, then it may not be able to track the other player anymore. So the way this works is the reason why we need a teleporter is we want to move the enemy player like far away quickly, and you don't need a teleporter to do that. You could just probably sprint or do a thruster, but you want to miss your lunge. You want to like lock onto them at like a split second, like the moment like it turns red. You want to lock on, but at the same time you also want them to like go somewhere far away so that you miss at the same time. And that causes the sword to glitch out and extend the animation, and then have you fly towards wherever they go to. In the case of the teleporter, it can go longer distances. But if you're just having them sprint or use a thruster pack, then you'll still lunge towards them, but it'll just be like the clip with the hammer I showed you earlier. You'll just fly in that direction, and then you'll probably still catch them. And speaking of the hammer, because we first did it by accident with the hammer, it is indeed to still reproduce it with the hammer and do the flying thing as well. So let me just show you what the hammer looks like again, but in more detail this time outside of campaign. But you know, you don't have to do this in Forge, because as you saw, we did it in campaign at first by accident. But you can do it in Forge, you can do it in custom games. You could probably do it in matchmaking, but it's not really useful because it's pretty hard to do. Your timing has to be perfect, and we use like Forge and teleporters and barricades to help increase our chances. But without all these like training wheel stuff to assist us, it's gonna be pretty difficult to do it. It's definitely doable because, you know, in campaign we didn't have any assists either. The crawler, it just like blew right by me really quickly, and that's what caused it, because the crawlers are fast in campaign, and it caused me to miss the lunge, but the lunge still kept going. But yeah, that's basically the gist of how you do it in Halo 4. Just basically you just gotta miss your lunge, but like at a split second, like after you swing. Otherwise, if you do it too late, then you won't have the complete it won't do the sword flying. It's all about timing. And even if you set it up like how we have in Forge, it'll probably still take you several tries to get it down. You know, I basically had my friend like jumping and teleported like dozens of times until we finally got it to work. But you know, it's definitely doable, and it's a really cool glitch from Halo 2 that's now semi-possible in Halo 4. Like I said, it's a fraction of what's possible in Halo 4. It's the range they can lunge. It's decent compared to the standard lunge range of the Halo 4 sword, but it's still a far cry from what's possible in Halo 2. But nonetheless, it's a cool glitch I wanted to show you guys, and if you do try it, you know, have fun. It's just, don't get too frustrated, because it is tricky to do. It takes a lot of practice, and just perfect timing in general. But at the very least, it doesn't matter, you know, what, who's host or not. Anybody can do it. So, there is that. And I don't think being host or non-host makes it any more easier or difficult. Oh, and this does work on the Xbox 360 version of Halo 4 as well, not just MCC. But I find it to be a little more difficult on the 360 version for some reason, in my opinion. But yeah, so there you guys have it. That is Halo 4's version of sword flying. And if you guys did find this to be interesting, and if you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like as always. Leave your thoughts in the comments. You know, I'm curious to see what you think about all this. And just anything else I'm going to check out or look into, just let me know in the comments below, and I'll do my best to look into it. But other than that, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all next time. Bye, guys.